Imagine being able to stay calm in a traffic jam, or composed during a difficult conversation with your boss, or centered in the middle of a personal crisis. That's the quiet strength Stoicism offers. An ancient philosophy that has guided minds for centuries toward clarity, peace, and emotional mastery. At the core of Stoicism is a simple but powerful idea. You don't control everything, but you do control yourself, your thoughts, your actions, your responses. That's your domain. Everything else, from the weather to the economy, to other people's behavior, is not. And the moment you truly accept this, the moment you stop fighting what you can't change, you begin to free yourself. Free from the anxiety, the frustration, the tension that comes from trying to shape the world with clenched fists. Instead, Stoicism turns your focus inward, toward your character, your discipline, your choices, and in doing so, it creates a kind of unshakable peace, one that isn't dependent on circumstances. In this video, we'll explore 8 timeless lessons from Stoicism, each one designed to help you cultivate inner calm, emotional strength, and a deeper sense of self-mastery. Let's begin. Lesson 1. Focus on what you can control. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic minds, offered a foundational insight: the dichotomy of control. There are 2 types of things in life: the things you can control and the things you can't. Your effort, your mindset, your values, those are in your hands. But the outcomes, the reactions of others, the randomness of life, that's not your territory. This idea isn't about apathy or detachment. It's about clarity. It's about knowing where to place your energy so it actually matters. Epictetus used the image of an archer to explain this. You can aim with precision, draw the bow carefully, release the arrow with skill. But once that arrow is in the air, it's no longer yours. Wind, movement, chance, those are outside forces. What matters is that you did your part. You showed up with focus, with intention, with excellence. And that's enough. This is the essence of Stoic peace. To let go of outcomes you can't control and take full ownership of your effort. When you stop trying to force the world into submission, you begin to master yourself. And in that mastery, you find calm. Lesson 2. The power of acceptance. Among the towering voices of Stoicism, few resonate as deeply as Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor who ruled with both strength and introspection. His journal, Meditations, wasn't written for an audience. It was written for himself. And in those private reflections, we find one of the most powerful Stoic teachings: acceptance. Marcus understood something essential about the human experience. Life is unpredictable. It rises and falls. It brings victories and losses, joys and setbacks. There are things we can't change, circumstances outside our control, people who won't act as we wish, events that unfold without our input. But what we can change is how we meet those moments. To the Stoic, acceptance isn't weakness or passivity. It's strength. It's the decision to stop resisting reality and start aligning with it. Marcus wrote that resisting the natural course of things only brings inner turmoil. Like a ship battling against the current, we suffer more when we cling to how we wish things were. But acceptance? That's the calm surrender to the truth of the moment, without giving up your values, without compromising your effort. Imagine sailing through life without needing to control every wave. You still steer, you still show up, but you stop wasting energy on the winds you can't command. Acceptance, as Marcus Aurelius describes it, is a kind of emotional freedom. It's the peace that comes from letting go of the illusion of control and choosing to trust your ability to respond with clarity, grace, and resilience, no matter what life brings. Lesson 3. Practice mindfulness. Seneca, another great Stoic philosopher, taught a vital lesson for anyone seeking peace in a chaotic world. Be present. Mindfulness, in Stoic terms, isn't about meditation cushions or emptying your mind. It's about awareness, the ability to fully engage with this moment right now. We spend so much of our lives replaying past mistakes or anticipating future problems, but neither the past nor the future can be acted on. Only the present holds power. Only now is real. Seneca reminds us, if you want peace, stop running from the now. Whether it's a conversation, a task, a quiet moment, bring your full attention to it. Stoic mindfulness isn't reserved for mountaintop moments. It lives in the ordinary, the feel of the sun on your skin, the sound of someone's voice, the rhythm of your breath. And in that presence, something shifts, the mind stops spinning, the heart slows down, and you become more capable, more centered, more alive. In a world that constantly pulls us away from the now, mindfulness is how we return to ourselves. It's not a luxury, it's a necessity, because peace isn't found somewhere out there. It's found here, in the moment you're in, if you choose to notice it. Lesson 4. Resilience. In the wide terrain of Stoic wisdom, one lesson echoes louder than most: resilience. And few taught it more powerfully than Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher who turned personal hardship into philosophical strength. To Epictetus, adversity wasn't something to fear or avoid. It was something to use. Pain, loss, disappointment. They're not enemies. They're tools. Tools that shape the soul, sharpen the mind, and forge the kind of character that doesn't just survive, but grows. Stoicism is rooted in the natural order of life, and that order includes difficulty. It includes change, failure, and unfairness. The Stoics understood this deeply, and rather than resist it, they leaned into it. Not because they loved suffering, but because they knew what it built. Resilience, in the Stoic sense, is not about pretending everything's fine. It's about standing tall when things aren't. It's about choosing how you respond when life hits hard. And that's the heart of it. It's not the event that breaks you. It's how you judge it, how you meet it. You can let challenges define you or refine you. You can fall apart, or you can forge yourself in the fire. That choice is always yours. Epictetus often reminded his students that our power lies not in what happens, but in how we interpret and respond to what happens. The storm will come. You can't stop it. But you can train your mind not to be swept away by it. To cultivate resilience is to see adversity not as punishment, but as preparation. To realize that each setback has the potential to strengthen you if you let it. This is how the Stoic becomes like tempered steel, shaped in heat, but never consumed by it. They don't break when life gets hard. They deepen. Lesson 5. Choose your response. Another timeless truth Epictetus offers us is this: you may not control what happens, but you always control your response. This is the foundation of Stoic self-mastery. It's simple, but not easy, because life will test you. People will disappoint you. Plans will fall apart. But in all of that, there's a space, a moment, where you get to decide what happens next. Do you react, or do you respond? Stoicism teaches that your greatest power lives in that moment of decision. You can lash out, or you can pause. You can blame, or you can reflect. You can spiral, or you can anchor yourself in what you control. And what you control is always this: your mindset, your attitude, your actions. This is not about being passive, it's about being powerful. Because when you stop trying to control everything outside you and instead master everything within you, something changes. You become steady, clear, dangerous in the best way. The Stoics didn't aim for a life free of conflict or chaos. They aimed for clarity in the storm. They trained themselves to align their responses with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, the 4 Stoic virtues, so that no matter what came, They wouldn't lose themselves in the reaction. And neither should you. This is your moment of power. Not when life is perfect, but when it isn't, and you still choose to respond with discipline, clarity, and grace. That's what Epictetus taught. That's the Stoic way. Lesson 6. Limit your desires. Desire is a double-edged sword. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher and master of personal insight, warned us of its danger, not because desire itself is evil, but because unchecked desire pulls us away from peace. We live in a world that constantly tells us we need more wealth, more recognition, more comfort. But the Stoics saw it differently. They believed that the more we chase what's unnecessary, the more we suffer. Not because life is cruel, but because we lose our grounding. Seneca taught that moderation is the path to freedom. The person who learns to want less is the one who finally feels full. It's not about rejecting comfort or pleasure. It's about refusing to be ruled by them. When our desires are endless, our peace becomes fragile, easily shattered by what we lack. But when our desires are few and chosen with wisdom, life becomes simpler, quieter, lighter. You don't need to abandon the world to find peace. You just need to stop believing that peace lies in the next thing you acquire. Seneca's wisdom challenges us to slow down, to examine what we're really after, and to question if it's worth the cost. Do we want what we want because it aligns with virtue, or because we've been conditioned to crave it? In limiting our desires, we return to ourselves. We no longer chase what the world dangles in front of us. Instead, we choose what nourishes the soul, and we leave the rest. Because sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is want less. Lesson 7. Be virtuous. At the heart of Stoicism lies one simple but profound idea. Virtue is the highest good. To the Stoics, Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, virtue wasn't just a moral ideal. It was the foundation of a meaningful life. A life rooted in wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These weren't lofty words on parchment. They were practical tools for living in alignment with truth. Wisdom helps us see clearly. It's the ability to understand what matters and what doesn't, to act with reason rather than impulse, to ask, is this within my control? Is this aligned with my values? Wisdom helps us make decisions we won't regret. Courage is the strength to do what's right, even when it's hard. It's not the absence of fear, but the refusal to be controlled by it. Life will challenge you, but with courage, you meet those challenges with steady resolve. Justice is the commitment to fairness, not just toward others, but toward yourself. It's choosing integrity when no one's watching. It's standing for what's right, even when it costs you. Temperance is the discipline to hold back, even when every part of you wants more. It's moderation, balance, the ability to say, this is enough, and in that enough, you find peace. The Stoics didn't chase perfection. They pursued practice. Living virtuously isn't about being flawless. It's about aligning your actions with the best version of yourself, day by day, choice by choice. In a world full of distractions, virtue becomes your compass. It keeps you grounded, honest, calm, and it reminds you that no matter what life throws at you, you still choose who you become. Lesson 8. Embrace the transitory nature of life. Life doesn't stand still. Marcus Aurelius, Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, reminded himself daily of this truth. Everything changes, everything fades, everything ends. But instead of fearing this, he found peace in it. In his meditations, Marcus reflected deeply on the impermanence of all things, our joys, our struggles, our possessions, even our own lives. He didn't write these words to depress us. He wrote them to free us. Because once you truly accept that nothing lasts forever, you begin to live differently. You stop clinging. You stop resisting. And instead, you start appreciating. The Stoics didn't deny emotion or reject the beauty of life. They simply refused to be prisoners to what they couldn't keep. They trained themselves to enjoy the moment without trying to own it. Marcus teaches us to let go gracefully, not with bitterness, but with wisdom. To understand that life is a river, not a reservoir. Things come and things go, and peace comes from learning to flow with it. When we cling to the past or obsess over the future, we suffer. But when we accept life's rhythm, the arrivals, the departures, the unknowns, we step into a deeper calm. A calm that doesn't depend on control, but on perspective. Impermanence isn't the enemy. It's the invitation to savor what's here, right now, before it passes. And in doing so, we find something remarkable. Not everything that fades is lost. Sometimes what's left behind is a stronger, wiser, and freer version of ourselves. The power of gratitude changes everything. Seneca, one of Stoicism's most influential voices, believed that the key to peace wasn't in having more, but in noticing more, in appreciating what we already have. We often wait for things to improve before we feel grateful. But the Stoics flipped that logic. We feel better because we choose to be grateful, especially when it's hard. Gratitude, they taught, is a mindset, a habit, a lens through which we learn to see not just what's going right, but also what pain is teaching us. Even the storms carry gifts, lessons, strength, clarity. Seneca didn't preach blind positivity. He encouraged us to look at life as it is and still choose to be thankful. For the breath in our lungs, for the people we love, for the wisdom earned through adversity. When we practice gratitude, we stop chasing and start seeing. We realize that much of what we long for is already within reach and always was. And when things go wrong, as they inevitably will, gratitude becomes our anchor. It reminds us that not all is lost, that even hardship can shape us into someone stronger, kinder, and more aware. Gratitude doesn't just soften the edges of life, it deepens the meaning of it. It turns moments into memories, and hardships into milestones. So pause, reflect, give thanks, not just for what's perfect, but for what's real. Because the Stoic truth is this: a grateful heart is an unshakable heart. Keep learning, keep growing. Stoicism doesn't ask us to be perfect. It asks us to keep improving. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic thinkers, believed that self-mastery comes not from control over others, but from a lifelong commitment to learning and inner growth. To him, the path to calm and composure wasn't something you arrived at by chance. It was earned, day by day, through self-awareness, practice, and progress. The Stoics remind us, we are not fixed beings. We are works in progress. And every challenge, every failure, every experience is another opportunity to learn, adapt, and become wiser. Growth isn't about chasing perfection. It's about showing up with the intent to be better, even just slightly, than we were yesterday. When we commit to learning, we build resilience. We become more grounded, less reactive, and more at peace with life's uncertainty. We stop seeing setbacks as failures and start seeing them as feedback. Epictetus taught that wisdom is like a precious gem, something you pursue with patience, curiosity, and humility. It becomes the compass that helps you navigate life's chaos with clarity and calm. In this way, personal growth isn't just about improvement, it's about freedom. Freedom from ignorance, freedom from destructive habits, freedom from being ruled by what's outside of us. The journey of becoming a better version of yourself has no end point, and that's the beauty of it. Each day gives you another chance to refine your character, strengthen your mindset, and walk more in alignment with who you're meant to be. Final reflection: Stoicism as a way of life. In a world full of distractions, pressure, and noise, Stoicism offers something rare: clarity. Through its timeless lessons, from accepting change and practicing gratitude, to pursuing growth and mastering emotion, Stoicism gives us a grounded way to face life. It teaches us that calm isn't found by avoiding storms, but by becoming the kind of person who can walk through them with composure. Temperance, the Stoic virtue of self-restraint and balance, becomes your anchor. It holds you steady in moments of chaos. It keeps your heart calm when everything around you feels out of control. And when you start to embody these Stoic lessons, not just intellectually, but in how you live, you begin to experience something powerful. A deep, unshakable sense of inner peace. A quiet strength that doesn't depend on outside approval. A calm that carries you through anything. Because in the end, peace isn't something you find, it's something you build.